my route took a tumble. Next time, be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just trying not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork, fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on, smash. Put on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash.
Can McCaffrey do it again?
Well, it is just the perfect time of year for a trip to the Carolinas, and that's where we find ourselves at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the San Francisco 49ers and the Carolina Panthers. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. On play action, they'll throw. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Pulled in at the 24. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Throwing. Prescott. He's got his man. That's Josh Gordon. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. It's a Panthers first down, 17 yards on the play. A first down throw for Prescott. He gets this to Davante Adams. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Nick Bosa in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now Foles. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 13 yards there and a Niner first. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
A gain of 10 and a 49er first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
From the 41, Foles. Got a man that's caught inside the 10. And the ball is knocked out. And I think the offense got it back. They did. Inside the 10-yard line, they avoid disaster. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You've probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. And this is Cook with a grab. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Foles. And he will find his receiver, Pettis, for a 49ers touchdown. Dante Pettis, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Carolina offense making their way out. We take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoffs. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 23 yards, the final tally.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
And now the throw here is incomplete. And with that, we come to the end of the first quarter of play. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. To the air again, Prescott. Open man is Samuel, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Let's go, D.
From the red zone now, Prescott got Gordon open, completes it. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Prescott yet again. And that is caught, but he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge, incomplete. 4th down now as San Fran's defense was strong in coverage.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
They're running it.
Here's Foles. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Here we go, 46. 44 is the mic. 44. That's right, baby. They don't want it. 44. Mike, 44. And come on out here. Come get some.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And Adams has it. Complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Now this throw caught left side, and he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there for the Panthers. 42 yards. But one thing's for sure, they're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
Here we go, 47.
Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Hey, kill.
And again, it's Prescott. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Credit the sack to Fred Warner.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. To throw is Prescott. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. The San Francisco defense trying to hold tough again. This is 3rd and goal. He's got it for a Panther touchdown. Josh Gordon, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers are going to jump back in front. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Prescott now, and this will be caught as they convert here for 2. And the formula there on the 2-point try, they go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great community.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jatavis Brown. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. That pick, his 9th on the season.
Remember when we were kids and you were playing Little League Baseball and they penciled you in the 9 spot in the order? That wasn't so good, was it?
Were you in the 9 hole?
Or you played the 9 position, right field. That wasn't so great.
That wasn't. You're picking dandelions out.
Exactly.
But the 9 picks
9 picks, you want that in a big way. That's a great season.
Heck of a season. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. McCaffrey with a 1st down and more. And he'll finally be taken down at the 2-yard line. 18 yards that time to push him up, 1st and goal.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against his zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. On second and goal, Prescott to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
Check. We're going to 53. Undercrush.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
Come on, man. Let's go.
Nick Foles gearing up again here to go on offense. Charles, it's the second quarter. Your team's losing. You're not playing well as the quarterback, but like I said, it's the second quarter, so how worried right now are you?
You're concerned, but you're not panicked because you know there's still an opportunity. No one's excited about his stat line right now. 1 touchdown pass, okay, that's cool, but he's throwing an interception as well. Can he eliminate the mistakes and keep making the positive plays, the good plays? That's what they're looking for from him.
Time to find out if he can do just that. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. 2nd and 9 now. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So we have come to halftime and what's already a 2-touchdown game. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Marching back onto the field now, Devontae Adams and company getting set to go. Creeping up on 1,000, could get there on this drive, so a challenge for him to do that, but also defensively, maybe a challenge for them to not allow that.
And that means probably kicking even more coverages to his side. And what that really means is wherever he lines up, you will have a cornerback over in his area. Now instead of blitzing your linebacker, drop him into coverage. Instead of the safety dropping into regular coverage, that safety moves into that area to try and discourage a quarterback from going to him. That means everyone else, win your routes. You've got an opportunity to catch passes now, too.
A little bit of a cat and mouse game. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. Give him 18. It's a Carolina first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
I'm going back to you.
There we go, kill. 26.
Prescott off play action. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Nick Bosa in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Throwing, Prescott. He gets it to Thomas. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Ian Thomas, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Extra point try, good by Gano. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So that drive, 4 plays. And the end result, a Panthers touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Back to the ground. This time Cook. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On the screen, this is Coleman. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Needed more than 3, but that's all they got. And it's 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock, but barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Switch up.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Mike, come off the ball,
Prescott on 3rd and 2. Completes it to Samuel. That one goes for 30 yards.
Let's go.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now Prescott. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he has got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down? One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Here's McCaffrey, and he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Foles. That's going to be caught by Samuel. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
A gain of 9 yards. First down, San Francisco.
Hey, here we go.
Foles now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. Cook. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Keep it up, guys.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Foles nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Blowing that play up was Henry Anderson. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Here comes the 49ers punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it... carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Another run, this time McCaffrey. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now Scarlett. And it would appear he's going to be short of a first down as he stopped right around the 29. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and Maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
It's a party now.
Ready to go.
Foles. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down. Foles now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Back to throw here. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. Foles going to come up now, 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Jalen Hurd, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
It's now 2nd and 10.
54. Here we go.
Back to throw. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot, not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game as we've seen in this one.
You're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his first catch. Big reason they're losing right now. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
Now a shotgun handoff to Scarlett. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
54. Go to 54. Why?
They'll run it with Scarlett. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 15 there, and the Panthers have a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning.
Hey, kill.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a second down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now this this one to his tight end out on the right side. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 22-yard line. Quite the turnaround from a week ago where he threw 4 interceptions. He hasn't had an interception this game, and he told us during the week, my goal, goose egg. He's achieving that so far.
And what we're seeing is a guy that you can win with, right? Because anyone who can make that type of an adjustment to shake off a really horrendous week the week before and come back and play mistake-free football to this point, yeah, that's a guy I want to play with, that's for sure.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Throwing here, Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll throw again. Prescott. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Open man is Samuel, complete. And the 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
Here's Foles. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. Completes it to Coleman. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
Now back to throw. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Kyle Shanahan's made the decision. They're going on 4th down.
Let's go, D. Tighten.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Able to haul it in is Kittle. And he's going to get the 1st down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works